It's now my pleasure to call upon Ms. Denicia Samuels, and she's going to address you. Let's put our hands together for her.
All right, good day, everybody. I know it's a long haul. Lunch will be served shortly. I promise you it's on the house, okay? You can have a second round as well. But please just bear with me as we go through this. I loved what our previous speaker said, and quite frankly, I understand we all here, especially at the crux of the journey, right? When I entered the room this morning, I saw so many young faces, all bright and bushy, you know, like the tail is wagging and there's brightness around you. And then when we started, you guys got really quiet. So I got worried. I got really worried because just remember, we are all, every speaker here, every person present, we all started somewhere. Okay, I remember myself being this little girl once upon a time. God, the years have flown. But I remember how important it was to trust yourself. Even amongst the deadlines and the pressure, the burnout, imposter syndrome, I'm sure that applies for some of you. You have to try to figure out ways through it. And what I learned is that you have to define success. Not chase what other people's definition is about it, but your own true meaning of success. And today, I'm hoping that we can shift that so that we can look at this journey very quickly, because I know we're really rushing towards lunch. But I hope I can put some things together. So shall we begin? Yeah? Awesome. So bear with me. I want to ask you a very simple but significant question. What does work mean to you? I know what you're thinking. CFO, CEO. No, I'm not talking about the title. I'm not even talking about the deliverables, the key performance indicators, or the description. I know money is important, but I'm not even talking about the paycheck. Okay, what does work feel like for you? What does it represent for you? I know for most, work means survival, right? But for others, work is actually meaning, purpose, connection. So, this meaning has changed across the generations, and it continues to evolve. And one thing I didn't mention is that as much as I love my CA profession, and it's given me so many opportunities, I actually started studying psychology. And as a third-year undergraduate student at the moment, I very much feel like I'm in your shoes once again, because this process is constantly evolving. How many of you recognize the pyramid behind me? Accounting, economics, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, correct? Okay, I remember back then, let's be honest, we just swatted it, and we said to ourselves, 5 extra marks in the exams, yes, yeah? But I want to just take you through this a little bit in more detail. In all honesty, even when we're looking at it, it's a very individual capacity. You look at this Maslow, right? Do I have my basic needs, food, water, rest, shelter? Am I secure? Am I safe? Am I getting love and connection and belonging? Sure, if I have all of those things, I can rise and I can become very much involved in my self-esteem. And then finally, I can move onto this journey of self-actualization. But when I looked at the workplace, and I love my profession, so the workplace is my whole entire world at some point, most days actually. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, let's redefine Maslow. And how do we go about doing that? So just bear with me for a second, because I do see all ages here, even the one starting in 96. So let's have a look and see how we actually internalize the world of work. So if we think about it, the boomers, and don't get me wrong, yes, they have all the wisdom in the world, but when they started in the workplace, they started from a place of scarcity. Think about it, post-war recovery, depression, recessions, etc. So when they had a job, guess what? This is for my survival. I need food on the table. And of course, regardless of the environmental conditions, my working environment, my toxic boss, the long hours, I will stick this out because I should be grateful for the job that I have, correct? Yeah, just think about it. I'm pretty sure that hits it on the head. And then their children, when they enter the workplace, now my dad put food on the table, but now me. I need to protect what I have. I've got to secure myself and my family. And think about their context. Their context was about still much recession, very difficult, uncertain economic times, and also, unfortunately, rising divorce rates. So they internalized this into the workplace, telling themselves, I'll protect my job because this means I have stability for family. And then their children came into the place, right? And they came, the millennials, and I know a few of us are here. Yes, very much so. We came in having food, having security, but now we are looking for belonging. We wanted to bring meaning into work. And so we strived. We went out of our way because we found worth in work. And our caption is, I'll prove myself, so I'll go beyond and above. And I'm saying this because that's me, and I understand that's many of you as well in here. And then finally, we brought forward the next generation. We raised them with self-expression. You understand mental awareness. You came up in the age of COVID-19, mental health, social media, connection across the globe. So of course, what is it that you want? You want validation. You want to have an impact. You want meaning. And of course, that caption, that internalization then becomes, if I'm not valued, why should I stay? I know many of us have been giving the younger generation very odd titles. Maybe some of you have heard the word entitlement and got very upset about it. But I hope by analyzing all these various aspects of the generational look and internalization and then behavior in the workplace, it's not a question of entitlement. It's a question of value, having recognition. But then, in that case, if each of the generations have climbed the rung depending on what they inherited from the world, surely in this current age of esteem, we need to understand ourselves a little bit better. So I hope the people, especially the youngsters in the room here, can actually take this to heart in a good way. And I promise you, the more we understand each other, so if you look at the older guys in the workplace and feel like, oh gosh, really, are you going on about this? Surely you can change. Perhaps we too must have a look at you to say, we're not here to compete with each other. We're actually here to complete the cycle, because we created each generation that comes after, correct? So, in this age of esteem, what you believe about yourself, your own capacity to climb, will determine essentially how far you'll go. So I hope you're looking at the screen in front of you, and it says, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, then you're right. And that is the essence of self-efficacy, okay? Now understand this, meeting your needs is one thing, but understanding or having the belief, the power to change anything regardless of where you come from is absolutely critical to where you'll end up. And I hope that sits with you strongly. And it's not about being perfect, trust me. It's not about being this amazing person every single day. Instead, it's about believing that you are aiming to become this perfect version of yourself and pushing yourself such that actions shape your outcomes, that you can actually reclaim your narrative by believing in your ability to shape your future, determining how you go about doing that. I understand that we're in a very digitally connected world, but unfortunately, we're also the most mentally exhausted. And understandably so. We're constantly on social media, and it's blurring the lines between performance and presence. Think about it. We're constantly on, we're constantly comparing, we're constantly moving forward with this phone attached to us as if it's part of our limbs, correct? Yes. So it's creating this culture of hustle, of perfectionism, and unfortunately also shame. And I really hope and make you see what's actually happening. It's taking away from your internal belief in yourself. And that's critical, especially if you aim for as high as the sky. You've got to reclaim yourself. And I hope that this kind of gives you that incentive to look inside of yourself to say, hey, I need to reflect a little bit here. So how do I make that possible? And it's quite simple. Let's start small. I know we all talk about creating healthy boundaries, yeah? So when I talk about boundaries, though, be very careful. I'm not talking about barriers. I'm talking about bridges for sustainable growth. Now, this is really critical. Growth often comes with resistance, right? Think about the diamond. It can't be formed unless the coal is pressurized. Think about the flower. It can't bloom till the seed breaks. Yeah? So we have to understand that we have to push ourselves. But what are these boundaries then do we put in place? Boundaries are there to help you re-energize, to focus, to give yourself a little bit more oomph. So when you are coming forward each day, whether it's to work or your home or your personal life, you're coming as the best version of yourself. And this is critical because social media has confused us. There's many influencers who offer emotional advice, like protect your own at all costs, cut people off. But this is without training and without context. Let's be honest. Can you really take life advice out of a 30-second TikTok video? And we do. We take it and we translate it according to what we're feeling. But we're not realizing that boundaries is not meant to create isolation. It's meant to create connection. Do not distinguish or do not think that having a difficult conversation is the same as running away. Boundaries allow you to stand forward and understand that I'm here to have a conversation with you, speak my truth, share my feelings, and actually come to some sort of compromise. We're not here to then run away the first sign of conflict and then say I'm protecting my peace. That's really bad coping mechanisms. Healthy coping mechanisms, on the other hand, is practicing assertiveness, knowing when to first reflect before you react, actually taking breaks before burnout, and seeking professional help if you need it. There is no shame in asking for assistance. There is no such thing as a self-made man. If anyone ever makes that declaration, understand that they have a lot of growing to do. Because from the time we're born, whether it is your mom cradling you, or a caregiver helping you to be fed, or someone putting food on that table, or even the stranger that smiled on you on the day you thought, I can't do this anymore. We are all social human beings. So please understand, healthy boundaries should help you. It should allow you to create resilience, not break you and isolate you. The very next thing that I believe is critical is having an oversight of what happens in this head of ours. Do you know that some of us have up to 60,000 thoughts a day? 60,000. And 75% of those thoughts are repetitive in nature. So let me ask you a question. How many times something happened, whether you fell down when you walked up the stairs, or whether you submitted a report and somebody gave you some feedback, and instead of just saying, oh, I'll do better next time, it's okay, I'll come back from this, you said, oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, this isn't working for me. I'm no good. I can't do this. And you don't have to agree with me, but I know some of you are very positive, and you look at any type of failure as an opportunity towards success. But others, you would never say the things you say to yourself to your best friend. You would never say those things to a child. You would never say those things to even a colleague. So why are you saying it to yourself? So please, future leaders, curate that inner voice. Create that voice that is positive and affirming of yourself, and that even if things go wrong, you stand back and go, hey, so what? I have the ability to succeed even after this setback. So understand and push yourself forward in that context. And for me personally, I think you have to create meaning. As a millennial, it's coming with the territory, but meaning is how we survive each day. But importantly, when you have purpose, passion arrives. And when purpose and passion combine, you get something called perseverance. And that is a triple threat. No one can stop you. So please make sure you push yourself and understand that why. The many speakers before all reiterated this necessity of why. Ask yourself, what is it that I truly desire? And as public servants, that meaning and where you've chosen to work needs to collide, even if it's for a little bit. Make sure you understand that vision. You are building more than just a career. I hope you understand that. As public servants, as finance professionals, as young leaders, you are building the future. You are the actual thing that is going to unwind in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. In this room right now, we have the next CFO. We have the next HOD. We have the next PAG. Maybe even the next president. You get to determine where it is you go to from here. So, remember, we're not here to just build financially strong institutions with clean audits and compliance. We're here to build public trust. And with that comes massive transformation. So I hope your resilience, your mental awareness, your emotional intelligence, all these, yes, are personal tools. But do you understand these are professional necessities? I've seen so many young people come to work as one persona and then leave as their authentic self. And I can't understand it, because we spend so much of time at work. You have to show up as your real self, because we don't need a carbon copy of someone else. We need you. Please understand that. We need you. You with your history, you with your influence, you with your culture, you with your home environment. Because you are going to come with the answers that we need to actually tackle the problems we're facing. All right, if there's one thing I leave with you, because I know we're struggling for time, just remember, human connection is not the enemy of excellence. It is the engine of it. And with that, I'd like to leave you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Scott. Thank you.